Hi, welcome to Learners Coach. Today we are going to look at the second tutorial where we are going to understand the basics about Python programming. So ensure that you take a look at our first tutorial, getting up and running, what you really need to install for us to be able to start coding. So we are going to dive straight into today's tutorial. So ensure that you get this link within the description. Yeah, you just click on the learnerscoach.co.ke. Follow this link so that you get to understand what we are discussing today, right? So I've captured the basics that you require as shown. So I'll just move straight to the important things that you really need, yeah, or not when writing your programs. So number one, Python is case sensitive. Yeah. So when you're typing your code, ensure that you use the correct case all the time, especially when you're declaring variables. Also, when you're using text, ensure that you place them within these particular quotes, yeah, so that you don't run into errors. You can omit the numbers. When naming variables, ensure that you avoid using dedicated words, right? These are words such as print, as you're going to see. If you want to display the output, yeah, use print input, yeah. So these are the functions that Python uses. So please avoid using them. Same to when saving, yeah, you avoid saving using these dedicated words. Now, most importantly is how to edit your already saved Python program. So you can right click and use the idle. Idle is a program that comes freely. So you can just, after installing Python, you just need to type idle, then you'll have it here, right? So this is one of the options that you can use to code or write your programs in Python. But today we are going to use the PyCharm, right? PyCharm is what we're going to use. So both of them are freely available. If you look at our first tutorial, we've explained about them, right? And also what to note is that Python uses indentation for blocks, yeah, instead of curly braces, right? Now, these are just simple basics that you need to get. Another one which is very, very important are the comments, yeah? So comments is not part of your code that is executed, right? So if you don't want some part of your code to be executed, always comment them. For you to comment, you need to use the rail sign or the hashtag. As you can see, there's examples here. Yeah. So as I'd mentioned, you can use the idle. Here is the idle. Yeah, you can type your codes and then you start programming right away. The other program that we are going to use is this PyCharm. Yeah. So please go ahead and look at our first tutorial on how to install this, and then we get started. So just go and create a new project, right, so that we start learning the basics. So I'll give it the name basic challenge, basic challenges, so that we learn by example. That is what we do, yeah. So we learn by example. So I'll create, remember I'm using Python version 3.9, but you can always use any version higher than this. It's still going to work. Yeah, so I'll use, let me just use this window, right? So as the program initiates, I've captured a number of challenges so that we don't really waste time typing this particular codes. So I'll explain. So let's start by looking at our first challenge, right? So the first challenge, we are going to see or ask the user to type their first name and display the output message. So that is very, very simple. We have up to around 10 challenges that we are going to look at. Yeah. So allow me to copy paste and then explain so that we don't waste a lot of time typing the codes. As you can see, my PyCharm is still initiating. So these are kind of challenges that we can encounter, right? Takes a little bit of time. As we wait for that, so let me just talk more about our challenges. So we are going to look at how to declare variables, one, how to add, subtract, and multiply, and to divide. Yeah? So we are going to use this kind of challenges to learn how to add, divide, so on and so forth. What you're going to learn is going to form a building block for our next challenges. So I'll urge you to really put more effort and understand these kind of challenges that you're going to work on. So these are basics, yeah, and please don't be left out understanding these challenges. So we have already initiated. So what we are going to do next is to create a new file, right? So let's just create a new file. So I'll click on new. We want a Python file. Click on Python. So let's say based on our first challenge, let's name it based on our first challenge. Well, you can say display output. Let's just name it like that. Then I'll tap on the enter key. Yeah. So we have our integrated development environment that allows us to type the code. So as I mentioned, let's just copy paste the first challenge. So I'll copy what we are expected to do. I'll paste this one. So I'll comment, because this is not going to be part of our code to be. So to comment, you use this kind of rel or hash. So as for the user's first name and display the output message. So here we are going to print out or display, yeah, the name of the user. So because I don't want to type a lot because of the lengthy codes that we have, so allow me just to paste and then explain. So I've already captured the variable. The variable here is the first name, and we are going to showcase it within the input, and then we are going to capture the first name within the input and then display it here within the print. So you can see we have kind of an error here. Yeah, this is an error. Remember what we said about Python, case sensitive. So this variable name must equally match this. So I'll just change the n here to match so that we remove that particular error. So you can see the error is out. The next thing is actually to execute this particular code, right? So that we can enter the name. To execute, you can press on the F5 within your keyboard, right? Or still you can come to the run and then click on the run option here, right? So display output, that is what we want, right? All right, so here it is at the bottom. So please enter your first name. My first name is John, right? Tap on the enter key. Yeah, so that is it. We have successfully executed that particular code. Yeah, so John has been displayed. You can see we have entered John, then John has been displayed below here. Let's take a look at the next challenge, challenge number 2. So we are building on the first challenge. So what is the question? Ask the user, let's see, let me just copy that. Ask the user, let me just have it here. That is let's comment it. So ask for the user's first name and then ask for their surname and display the output message. So without wasting much time, let's just modify that. So I'll not type everything. So just copy this. So what we need here are 2 variables, first name variable and the second name variable. Yeah. So let me just create additional space here. Right. So we need to display both first and second name. So you can say, let me just make. So we have 2 variables, first name and surname, that needs to be displayed. So again, let's run this particular or execute this code. So I'll click on the run. Yeah. So enter your first name, John. Enter. Enter your second name, Sagimo. That's my second name. Very good. So you can see at the bottom here we have displayed. We've managed to display both the first name and the surname, right? So that's how we can display given input. Let's move to the third challenge, and that challenge is about let's see how we can break some line of code, yeah, or create 2 separate lines in a given sentence. So let's create a new file so that we organize our codes. So I create new Python file for the second challenge. Let's name this line break. Yeah, line break. Maybe it's challenge number 2, right? Enter. So that is our. So I'll just paste that. So of course I'll comment that. So basically, for us to display a sentence and divide it into 2 or separate the lines, we use this particular we use this character backslash and n, yeah, together, so that we create 2 separate lines. So in our case here, we are told write code that will display the question and answer. Like ours is have you subscribed to this YouTube channel? Yeah. And the text line display the answer, yes, I have subscribed. So in simple terms, what we're basically trying to say is that we want to separate this sentence. So the question should be in a different line with the answer. So in our case, let me just remove the error. So in our case, we'll have the question, have you subscribed to this YouTube channel? That is the question. So to separate, we use this particular symbol in the middle here, right? So yes, I have subscribed. I hope you have subscribed anyway, right? Then let's run the program, the code. I click on that, and you can see it has displayed the question in one line and the answer on a different line. So if you want to separate to if you have one sentence and you want to separate them into 2 lines, please use this particular symbol. I've captured it here. You can see that. Now, very fast, going to the fourth challenge, we are required to do some addition. So let me just create let me just create a different Python. So you can say adding numbers. You can say that's challenge 3. Enter. So I mean that should actually be our fourth challenge. Sorry for that. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it should be our fourth challenge. Sorry for that. Sure. We had two challenges within one. Yeah. So the fourth challenge, sorry for that, it should be 4. Adding numbers should be our fourth challenge. So I'll just paste the entire code. So here's the question, or what you're supposed to do. Ask the learner to enter 2 numbers, add them together, and display the answer. Yeah. So what we need to do here is to have variables. Yeah. So our first variable that is going to store our first number is number 1. The second variable that is going to store our second number is number 2, right? Then we have integer input. What we are having here is to ensure that whatever the input we give must be in form of an integer. That's why we have the int at the very first, at the very front. Now, so having typed the 2 numbers or entered the first and the second numbers, we also have the other variable that is going to help us combine the 2 numbers, number 1 and number 2. So the good thing with the variables is that you can always change whatever the content that is stored in that particular variable. Yeah, so we can type any number, right? Sorry, and then add them together. Then we print the answer. So we are going to print whatever is in that particular variables after adding the 2, and actually I've captured some text here. So I'll quickly run this. Yeah, sorry. So that, let me just right click and then run that. So please enter your first number. I can see my favorite number is 3. Enter your second number. Maybe I can say 6. Then let's combine the 2 numbers. So the answer is 9. Yeah, so that is how we can add 2 numbers. So that is a fourth challenge. The fifth challenge will be to multiply. So let me just again copy this, and then let's create a new Python file. Yeah, so a new, okay, actually it is hidden somewhere here. All right, just forget about that. Let's save these. Let's save all first. On the new file, Python. So let's say this is multiplication. That's a fifth challenge. Enter, and then let's have these. So these are just comment what we are supposed to be doing. So let me just comment them in every line. All right, so basically what we are expected to do here is to be able to multiply. So we are supposed to ask the user to enter 3 numbers. Yeah, so we are building on top of the addition. Of course, it's just now to multiply, right? So remember we had the first variable, that is number 1, where we had to enter the first number. The second was the second variable, number 2, where we had to enter the second number. I mean the second number. Then the new variable here is number 3. Yeah, so you're expected to enter the third number, and this number should be multiplied with the first 2 numbers. So we still capture this under the answer variable as shown. So we are going to put this in bracket. Yeah, remember the BODMAS thing. So we need to act the brackets first, and then multiply that number. So the answer here is going to be shown now. So let's just quickly run this. So remember the first number was 3. You can choose any number anyway. Let me just be consistent. The second number. So the third number is going to multiply the total of the two. Let's say 6. Yeah. So of course it's going to be 9 times 6, and that is the answer is 54. So that's how you can be able to multiply. So multiplication, that's how we do multiplication in using Python language. So take note of how we capture those particular numbers, right? So moving forward, our sixth challenge will be to subtract. Yeah? Subtracting. So let's just create a new file again. So subtraction, that is our sixth. Enter. So just paste that. Sorry, there's a buzz of some. So we comment that. So what are we expected? So we are going to ask how many slices of pizza the user started with. Then the ones that are remaining, yeah, after having eaten at those particular slices. Then later we are going to work out how many slices are remaining. So again, we are going to declare the first variable, that is as shown, start number, that is the enter the number of slices of pizza you ate. Yeah, so everything is just rolling according to what you have been doing, right? The second variable, how many slices have been eaten. Then we subtract and capture it based on the variable slices left. Then we display that. Very, very simple. So right click, or you can choose the option from here. Yeah. So I'll right click and so all right. So assuming we had 10 slices of pizza, then I ate 6 of them. We are going to remain with 4. So basically, that's how we can do subtraction, right? So ensure that you capture any number within those particular declared variables, and then you subtract and capture them within the slices left variable. All right, so that's how we can do the subtraction. On to our next challenge, that is challenge number 7. I'd already captured that. So it requires us to calculate our future age, right? So I'd already created that. So what you need to do is to capture your present age. Yeah, so your present age, then you add it to the number or the years you'd like to be, maybe after your current age. So it's basically incrementing what is stored in the current variable. So in our case here, we have the new age, yeah, that captures our variable. Then you add 5, yeah, so then it's going to display. So let's see how it's going to display. Let's capture that. So I'll just simply run that. Okay, stop and rerun it. So my name's as usual John Sagimo, right? Enter. So how old am I? Let me say I'm 80 at the moment. Yeah, so in the next 5 years I'll be 85. So you can see we added 5 to that. You can still add another number that you so wish, right? So that is how we can have addition or increment a variable, right? So let's see how we can create another challenge. This time round, we are going to see how to do the division. Yeah, so let's create a division challenge. Let's say it's challenge number 8. Yeah, so because of time, let's see what we have. So I'll simply copy the already available code. Remember, I'm the one who created them anyway. So I'll comment that. So what do you have? You are to ask the total bill, the price of the bill, then ask how many dinners. So if you have number of, maybe let's assume you are 5, yeah, and you want to share the cost, yeah. So let's see how we can do that. So we capture the bill using the bill variable, then how many we are, yeah. So we'll enter the number of people. Then you're going to do the division so that you know how much each and every person is going to pay. Right, this is captured under each payment. Then you're going to display that. It's very, very simple, right? So let's run the division. Sorry. So assume maybe we were to share a cost of 1,000 amongst us. So let's say the bill cost 1,000. That is Kenya shillings anyway. So how many people we assume we are 3 people? Yeah. So each and every person is going to pay around 333 Kenyan shillings to sort out that particular bill. So it's simple as that. Yeah. Moving to our next challenge is to understand how many days, minutes, and seconds we have. Yeah. How do we actually get to understand how many days, minutes, and seconds we have? Maybe in a given day, to make it simple. So ensure that you know how to do the division. So let's create a new file and then maybe say days. Yeah, days challenge. Yeah, so let's say days challenge number 2. Yeah, so I'll have my code there, then explain. So we want to understand how many how many hours are in a day, minutes in a day, seconds in a day, and so on. Yeah, so basically we need to capture the number of days, yeah, or if it's a 1 day, yeah, and then we get to understand how many hours are in those particular days, how many minutes are in those particular days, seconds are in those particular days. Then we are going to display them as shown. Yeah, I think now you must be familiar with how we work around using Python. So I'll simply run days. Yeah, so maybe let's find out how many hours are in 3 days. So 3 days, we have 72 hours in 3 days. How many minutes? 4,320. Then seconds, we have 209,200 seconds. So that's how we can break down the number of time that we have in a given days. So that's basically how we can play around. Then finally, let's see how we can do some conversion. Find out how many pounds we have in a kilo. Yeah, so we can see. Let's create a new file. We can say maybe convert 10th challenge. Yeah. So you'll be asked here. There are 2.2 pounds in a kilogram. Ask the user to enter weight in that to convert it to pounds. So basically, if you want to do the conversion, first of all, you capture the number of kilos, then you use that number of kilo and to multiply with the pounds given. Then you display the number of pounds. So let's see how we can do that. So let's say we have 20 kgs. So that is, if we convert 20 kgs based on the number of pounds that you have been given. it comes to 44.08 pounds. So, ladies and gentlemen, those were a few challenges that we have learned. So, we need to move forward and understand more challenging options that we have. So, like, I call upon you to do more practice. Keep on rewinding this particular video so that you get to understand how to play around with the numbers. Again, I'll ask you to subscribe, like our video, and also proceed to our site, yeah, and see more options that we have. Right. So don't forget to subscribe and also click on those particular links that I've provided that will enable you learn more about Python. So let's get to see each other in our next video. Thank you.